So congestion control algorithms in the network layer. So this is one of the design issue of the network layer. So here we'll discuss the topics like approaches to congestion control, traffic aware routing, admission control, traffic throttling, and load shedding. So these are all the approaches which we followed in the congestion control. So in this we will discuss about what are the approaches to congestion control. So first one is we need to know what is congestion. So if we know what is congestion, then we will discuss about the congestion controls and the congestion control algorithms. So what is congestion? So congestion means if the number of packets sent to the network is greater than the capacity of the network. That means each and every network is having the bandwidth, right? Bandwidth size is maintained by each and every network. Here network is nothing but from source to destination. If any packet is transmitted, then the network, the channel, whatever the transmission media is there, the transmission media is having is capability, a bandwidth range. So here when the congestion will occur, so whenever the bandwidth is there, so about greater than the bandwidth, if the number of packets are transmitted from source to destination, then the congestion will occur. So what is the congestion control? So congestion control means it is the mechanism or technique which is used to control the congestion and keep the load below the capacity. So how we will control the congestion mean? Congestion means it is greater than the capacity of the network. So when it will be controlled? When the capacity mean when the packets are lower the capacity of the network, then only we will control the congestion. So that's why it is a mechanism which is used to control the congestion by keeping the load below the capacity. Load is nothing but the transmitted packets. So whatever the packets transmitted, that is nothing but load. So we need to keep the load below the capacity. So capacity means what is the capability of that particular network. So if the capability means if the load is less than the capability of the network, then we need to control the congestion. So this is already discussed in some other control technique, that is called as flow control. So flow control also similar to this congestion control only, but there is a small difference between the flow control and congestion control is there. So what is the difference? Flow control controls point to point traffic between the sender and the receiver. So flow control means it is also controlling the packets because the sending packets are greater than the load only. So then the flow will be more. So to control that flow, the flow control techniques are used. So what is the difference between flow control and congestion control mean? Here flow control controls the point to point traffic between the sender and the receiver. So whereas this congestion control controls the traffic throughout the network. So that is the difference between the flow control and congestion control. So flow control only controls the point to point traffic between the source and the destination only. But the congestion control will controls throughout the network. So that is the basic difference between the flow control and congestion control. So this is a graphical representation for congestion control. So if you observe here, uh, the situation, this is the graphical representation for the situation in which too many packets present in the subnet. So if you observe here, we are representing the graph by using packets offered load and good put. So here this is the x-axis, for example, consider, and this is the y-axis. So x-axis represents the offered load. Offered load is nothing but the capacity of the network. So good put means this is the packets which are transmitted from sender to the receiver. So normally the graph will be like this. So if this dotted line represents the graphical represent means the capacity of the network. So that is actual the capacity of the network. Now here the packets will be mean if the packets start transmitting, it will be represented in an increasing mode. So here the actual idea is this one, but what will happen due to the congestion? Here in the onset of the congestion, the graph will be reduced like this. So actual desired response is in an increasing manner. So this line will represents the desirable response. But what will happen due to the congestion in the control? So the graph will be reduced like this. This is nothing but the collapse of the packets. So when it will be happen? For example, if you consider a bucket full of water. So you have a bucket is there, and what is the capability of that bucket? So that much of water is filled in that. So if more than the capacity of the bucket, if you throw the water into that, what will happen? If you pour the water, simply the water will spill out, right or wrong? So how much capability of the bucket is there? That much of water only kept in that bucket. So if we want to pour more than the capacity of that bucket, simply all the water droplets will come outside. So that is the problem. So same problem will be occurred here. So what is the capability of the channel is there? So according to that capability only we need to transmit the packet. So if more than the capability, if more than the capability of the network, the data packets or the load is there, then simply all the packets will be lost. So the congestion will happen. So to reduce that congestion, to control that congestion, we will take so many approaches. So we'll see causes of congestion. So how the congestion will caused? First one is congestion occurs when router receives packet faster than it can send. That means the capability of the receiver is very slow, but the sender will send packets very fastly. In that cases, what will happen? The congestion will happen because the capability of the rotor is very less compared to the source rotor. So source rotor will transmit the packets fastly, and the receiver's rotor receives the packets very slowly. So in that cases the congestion will happen. So why this one leads to the congestion? Because insufficient bandwidth. So insufficient bandwidth means bandwidth is nothing but the capacity of the network. So here insufficient bandwidth, due to the insufficient bandwidth, the congestion will happen for, by the faster router and faster sender and slow receiver. Next, slow hosts. So slow hosts mean here we have two different hosts. That one is sender, another one is receiver. So here the receiver will be very slow. So in that cases also we have the congestion will occur. Data simultaneously arriving from multiple lines destined for same outgoing line. So in that case also the congestions will occur. So what is that? The data is arriving from more than one line. So two or more sources want to transmit the data, and a single receiver will receive that data. So in that case also the congestion will occur. These are all the causes of congestion. So when this happen mean when a router receives packet faster than it can send. In that cases the congestion will happen. Another case is also there. What is that mean? Not balanced system. So even though the faster transmitter is there and the slow receiver is there, if the system is balanced one, then definitely the router will balance to capability, means balance its capability to receive all the packets. But whenever the system is not balanced one, in that case also the congestions will happen. Here, correcting the problems at one router will probably move to the another one. So due to the unbalanced system also the congestion will happen. Here the correcting problems at one router will probably move to the another router also. So in that cases also the congestion will happen. So what are the approaches we need to take to control the congestion? So what are the approaches mean? First one, the presence of congestion means that the load is greater than the resources. So first thing is we need to know about what is congestion. So before going to take the approaches, we need to know what is congestion first. So congestion means it is the load which is greater than the resources which can handle by the network. So simply we called it as congestion is equal to load which is greater than the resources. So whenever the load is greater than the capability of the network, then the congestion will occur. Two solutions come to the mind. So what are the two solutions? So to control the congestion, the two solutions are there. What are the two solutions mean? One is increase the resources because the load is greater than the resources. So if you increase the resource, then automatically it is balanced, right? Because the load is high, the resources are low. If you increase the resource, then automatically it is balanced. So balanced means then there is no problem for congestion occurrence. So that is one solution. And the second one, what is the second one? So we have two cases are there. One is load, another one is resource. So this load is high and the resource is low. So how to balance this one? Either we will increase this load or we need to decrease this, means increase the resource or decrease the load. So here are two cases. If you increase the resource to equal to the load, then also we will balance the load and resource. From that the congestion is controlled. Other cases, load is decreased and the resources, means if you decrease the load, then also it will balanced with the number of resources. So in that case also the congestion is controlled. So these are the two solutions, means either we increase the resource or we decrease the load. That is nothing but simply we are balancing the load and resources. So whatever the bandwidth is there, whatever the capacity is there, according to that capacity, if the data is transmitted, then there is no problem for congestions, occurrence of the congestion. So smoothly the data will be transmitted and received by the receiver. So when the congestions will occur mean whenever the capability is less and the load is more, then only the congestions will occur. So due to the congestions, there may be a chance of occurrence of the errors or the loss of packets. To avoid that cases, we will take the solutions like this. The efficient way to congestion control is to reduce the load that the transport layer is placing on the network. So this is the most efficient way. What is most efficient way? So in network layer this congestion will happen. So congestion will happen. To control that congestion, where the data is coming from transport layer, the data is coming. So at that transport layer only we will decrease the load according to the capability of the network. So if you decrease the load, then automatically the congestion will control. This requires both network and transport layer work together. So when the understanding between the network layer and transport layer is there, how it will known? So transport layer will transmit the packet, network layer will receive the data. So the capability of the network layer, whenever the capability of the network layer is less than the sender, means transport layer's data, then only the congestions will occur. So whenever the mutual understanding between the network layer and transport layer is there, then automatically they will use any of the solution, either increase the resources or decrease the load. The congestion is controlled. Many problems in complex systems such as computer networks can be viewed from a control theory point of view. So many complex systems, when this congestion will happen means when a complex system is there. So in that complex system, so more number of sources are there and more number of sources want to transmit that data to the single resource. So to a single desired receiver. So in that cases the congestion will automatically happen because the capability is less, but the senders are more to transmit the data. So here the receiver's capability is very less. So in that cases, automatically the congestion will happen. So to control that uh, congestion, we will use two different solutions. So what are the two different solutions mean? One is open loop solution and the other one is closed loop solution. So what is this open loop solution? What is this open loop solution? So this open loop solution will attempt to prevent the problems rather than correct them. So what are the problems will occur? So simply it will prevent the problems only, but not correct the problems. So like error detection means means uh, before detecting the error, we need to avoid the error. That is the best case. Means before after detecting the error and correcting the error, um, we will use the avoiding technique. So before avoid, prevention is better than cure, like that. So here also, by using the open loop, it is attempt to prevent the problems rather than correct the problems. And by using this open loop, there is no feedback system is maintained here. Means in open loop system, the acknowledgement things are not used. So coming to closed loop, here uses the feedback to make the corrections at runtime. So in the open loop system, it is not correcting the data, simply prevent the problems. By using the closed loop, the feedback system, mean the acknowledgements are used to correct the system at runtime. So here the approaches of congestion control. So we need to control the congestion. Different approaches will take in place. So what are the different approaches mean? Here we represent a time scale. So time scale means it will represented from slower to faster, and from slower to faster different. Whenever it is a slower one, then we need to take one different approach. So little more than that, then we will take another one. So like that, the time scale of approaches to congestion control is like this. So here the slower is nothing but preventive, and the faster is nothing but reactive. So at slower step means whenever it is in least one, then we simply prevent the problems. So when the problem is high, then we need to react to give the solutions. So here the different approaches in this time scale are: first one is network provision, and the second one is traffic aware routing, admission control, traffic throttling, and load shedding. So these are all the different approaches we will take to control the congestion. So, network provision is nothing but the admission control in the virtual networks. So, admission control in virtual networks, we don't know, take more provisions here. So, one by one, we will discuss what is traffic aware routing, what is admission control, what is traffic throttling, and what is load setting. So, different algorithms are used in different approaches. So, those algorithms are mainly used to control the congestion only. So open loop system. So here we discuss about two things. One is open loop system, another one is closed loop system. So what is this open loop system? So open loop solutions attempt to solve the problem by good decision. So by taking the good decisions, we need to solve the problems. We need to solve the problem. How it will solve the problem? By means rather than correcting the problem, we simply prevent the problems. Prevent the problems means before occurrence of the problem only we need to prevent it. Tools for doing open loop control include, so what are the different tools we are used to use the open loop solution mean? When to accept the new traffic. So that is the first tool we will apply. So when to accept the new traffic, and deciding when to discard the packets. So that is another case. So first one is when to accept new traffic, and second one is deciding when to discard the packets, and making scheduling decisions at various points in the network. So these are all the three different techniques we are used in open loop control system. First one is when to accept the new traffic. So when we will accepting the new traffic. New traffic is nothing but new packets coming from new sources. So we will decide, we will take a good decision when to take the new traffic. Second one, when to discard. So whenever a problem is occurred, so simply we need to discard the packets. So when we discard the packets, so if it is important, then we don't want to discard the packets. So we need to take the good decision when we will discard the particular packets. So if it is not required, that much of requirement is not there, then we need to discard that packet. And the third one is making scheduling decisions at various points in the network. Scheduling techniques means based on a random manner, means by using the random scheduling algorithms, some time sampling is considered, and during that sessions we need to take the decisions at various points. So these are all the techniques we need to apply for open loop solution. So now see what is a closed loop solution. Closed loop solutions are based on the concept of feedback loop. So as we discussed already, these closed loop solutions are based on the concept of feedback loop. So feedback means it is nothing but an acknowledgement given. So once the packet is transmitted, if congestion is occurred, then simply that router or node will send an feedback to the previous node. So this technique is used in the closed loop solutions. This approach has three parts when applied to the congestion control. So what are the three different techniques mean? First one is monitor the system to detect when and where congestion occurs. Monitor means regularly monitoring the system, regularly monitoring the network. So whenever the congestion is occurred, simply that router or the node will send a feedback to the previous node. And from that previous node, it will send feedback to the previous node. So like that, whatever the systems are included in that network for transmission purpose, whenever the congestion is occurred, simply it will send the feedback to all the previous nodes. So one by one it will send the feedback. So that is the first step. So how it will be happen? The regularly monitoring the system. So in a scheduling manner, it will monitor the system for detecting the congestions. So whenever the congestion is occurred, simply it will send the feedback to the previous node. So that is the first one. Pass this information to places where action can be taken. So whenever the congestion is detected, so what will happen? It simply send feedback to all the nodes where the action can be taken. So in which node the action can be taken? So in which node the action can be taken? So the deciding node is one deciding node will be there. So that is called as source node. If for example the congestion is occurred, due to that congestion some packets are lost, then what will happen? That particular router will detect the congestion and simply send a feedback to the previous node, and that previous node will send a feedback to the its previous node. So like that the message is received to the source node. When it receives to the source node, it detects that the collision will the congestion is occurred. So due to that congestion, there may be chance of losing of the packet, or the packets will lost. So simply it will decide to transmit the packets again. So the retransmission will taken place. So like that the information is passed to the places where the action can taken. So that is the second approach. Third one is adjust system operations to correct the problem. So whatever the system operations are there, we need to adjust that system operations to correct the problem. So that is the third step we need to take in the closed loop solutions. Clear? So in the next class, we will see what is admission control and remaining things. Thank you.